Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is Friday, May 19th. My name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. The purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I do that by being honest, vulnerable, and accountable, which is why I make videos. Makes me do some work. I'm no expert in AA or spirituality or recovery. I'm just sharing my experiences. I try to live life on life's terms, and I'm doing some internal work. All right. The recipe we follow here is we read the daily reading out of the AA Daily Reflections book. There's a link in the description if you'd like to follow along. And I'll just share my take on that as well as some other topic typically. So, end of the week, so let's get it done. All right, so the topic for today is going to be giving without strings and the gifts of giving in general. All right, so May 19th. Giving without strings. As he well knows that his own life has been made richer as an extra dividend of giving to another without any demand for return. As Bill sees it, page 69. The concept of giving without strings was hard to understand when I first came into the program. I was suspicious when others wanted to help me. I thought, what do they want in return? But I soon learned the joy of helping another alcoholic and understood why they were there for me in the beginning. My attitudes changed and I wanted to help others. Sometimes I became anxious as I wanted them to know the joys of sobriety, that life can be beautiful. When my life is full of a loving God of my understanding, and I give that love to my fellow alcoholic, I feel a special richness that is hard to explain. Giving without strings. That's good stuff. So I guess some of the things I took away from here is, it talks about giving without any demand for return. And one of the AA paradoxes is we have to give it away to keep it. So, what are our motives for giving? I think we're hard pressed to never have some motive behind it that serves us. Because even when you're wanting to do something nice for somebody, well, then that's something you want. So whatever, right? But then ultimately, it's when you give, don't expect anything in return. And that can be a blessing. I mean, it's just such a blessing right there, because I'm historically a scorekeeper. And it's not upfront, but after a while, I'm like, well, I've done all these things, but they've only done these things. It's not fair. We should be given without no expectation of getting back. Now it talks about giving without strings was hard to understand. I've always had some angle behind it. I mean, I would give, but I think at times because I wanted to be perceived as that. I wanted them to see me that way. Maybe there were times I wanted to give, but ultimately I'm looking out for me. In most relationships, from my perspective, has been for me to get anything out of a relationship, because I'm inherently unlovable, I have to give, and then hope they'll give back. So I'd be given for the wrong reasons. And I was in relationships that weren't healthy, so that way I can give because I'm okay, I'm full, so I have plenty to give, right? It talks about the joy of giving. Having kids really changed that perspective. Giving is, whenever I'm not thinking about me, I'm more happy, I'm more at peace. So it's definitely a valuable lesson to learn and something to lean into. The giving goes two ways. It talks about my attitudes changed and I wanted to help others. So many people have helped me, so it becomes a joy to help others. I've had so many people bless me in my life, and so, it's interesting. The moment I get up in the morning, it's all about me. And so at some point, once I've kind of fulfilled my stuff, then I'm more free to give. But I resist that when I haven't got my stuff that I need to get done first. Yeah, I'm still pretty selfish. All right, so that's our topic. I just kind of want to go through the idea of the gifts of giving. Why should we give, right? What are good reasons to give? What are not good reasons to give, right? I mean, giving makes us feel happy. I mean, it's something we're getting out of it, right? It's good for our health. We have lower stress levels. It helps in social connection. Evokes gratitude. I mean, you see someone help. I see someone helping somebody. Oh, we'll jump in there and help too. It's contagious. If you give to others, I saw this line and I thought it was interesting. If you give to others, you're more likely to be rewarded and receive something in return. I don't like that, even though I believe that. If I'm looking for that, not going to work. and the big book talks about how selfishness kills us. The more I think about me, the more sick I get. Like I said, it gets the focus off of me, and then I have more peace with that. What are some wrong reasons to give? Out of guilt? Do you think you have to give, so you do? If you're looking for something in return, if you're trying to think this is what's expected of me, I'm meeting external expectations, then to get noticed, look at the big shot here. So it's always important if you feel a little uneasy about giving. Why? What are your motives? Why don't you, or why do you want to give? I think it's worth doing that. Why don't we give? All right? I think we're inherently selfish. We're fearful. I think fear is almost rid of all this crap. Trust issues. We don't have something to give. In that context, we always have something to give. There's nothing in it for me, so why should I give? Right? I guess it depends, right? If it's someone that I know intimately, I don't think about that. But if it's some stranger, maybe that's okay. I learned a lesson a while back. Like whenever you borrow money to somebody, you do something for somebody, expecting anything in return is not a good idea. So when I borrow people money, I make sure that if they don't pay me back, I'm okay. And then I don't hold that resentment when they don't pay me back. And that happened. My old neighbor, my daughter came in, Dad, can we help our neighbors? They're going to be evicted. I go over there, talk to them about it. It's like a Monday, and they said $400, pay you back Friday. Nothing. It didn't stop me from giving to people. I really wasn't resentful. I definitely wasn't going to give them again. But, my heart was in the right place, and so that there was no ill will there. But I learned a lesson. So how do we give more? I think it helps to have a desire to want to give. Where do we find the want to give? And whenever I'm not thinking about me, that helps. It's good to see how giving has affected our lives, other people's lives. Do it and see how it feels, and then do it some more. And I think we can do that by surrounding ourselves with others that give. So anyway, Whenever I think about my day of where can I give today, which is not as much as I'd like it to be. It's a much better day. And when it's all about me, not always such a good day. Anyway, so that's a good for today. I want to encourage you to look for opportunities to give. How much do you give? Why don't you give? And see how you can grow that part of your life. All right? I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Be back next week. Have some really interesting topics, really personal topics that we talk about. And that's why I'm doing this, is when I dig into these topics, something that's going on with me. And this moment right here where I'm talking about it, I'm healing. Pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and be back on Monday. Peace out.